because we have a neshama, because we have neshamas, it is our job to be the menorah. We have this week's parsha about Loischas Haneres. So the menorah was made of 7 different candles. And what are Hashem's candles? Neir Hashem Nishmas Adam. So the menorah is made up of 7 different candles because amongst Klal Yisrael is divided generally into 7 different types of neshamas. There are some neshamas that are chesed, predominantly, and some neshamas that are gevura, and some neshamas that are tiferes, etc. And what was the purpose of the candles of the menorah? Was to provide light to the entire world. In fact, in the Beis HaMikdash, the windows were shaped in an interesting way. In the olden times, before they had electric lighting, commonly the way windows were created was that the windows on the outside, they were more wide on the inside, the window frame. On the outside they were smaller, and on the inside they expanded. And this way, with the light that entered the room, it would expand throughout the room. In the Beis HaMikdash, on the other hand, the windows were the opposite way around. On the inside, they were smaller, the window frames, and they expanded outside. And the reason why is because the light of the Beis HaMikdash, which is the light of the menorah. What was the light in the Beis HaMikdash? Was the light of the menorah. It was supposed to spread around to the entire world. And it's not as if the Yidden were able to be in the Beis HaMikdash and say to themselves, in the Beis HaMikdash and Eretz Yisrael, so we're amazing, Kichelak Hashem Amoy, and what do we care about the rest of the world? They don't have the neshamas like we do. So we're just going to sit, we're going to learn Torah, we're going to do mitzvahs, and who cares? We'll build walls around. We'll build walls around the Beis HaMikdash. No, the menorah was meant to be light for the entire world. Every single Yid contains within himself the light of the Eibishter, the light of the Torah, the Neir Hashem Nishmas Adam, Kichelak Hashem Amay, and we were sent into the world to make a difference in the world. So the fact that we have neshamas and that we're bana matam nashama lekeichem is not meant to entitle us. To the contrary, it's meant to obligate us and to make us understand that we have the light and we have to light up the entire world. We have to light up the entire world with the light of Torah, the light of mitzvahs, and that includes the world, and that includes the goyim of the world, whom we are charged with teaching the Shemitz Bnei Noach, as the Rambam says, that Moshe Rabbeinu was commanded that the Yidden have to try to convince and compel all the nations of the world to follow the Shemitz Bnei Noach, to be just and to be civil, and not only that, but to do so because the Eibishter commanded so to Moshe in the Torah. In other words, we have to teach the Goyim morality based on belief in the Eibishter, and that's our job. Why do we have the ability to do it? Because every single one of us is a menorah or a branch of the menorah, and it is our job to light up the world around us. And I'm saying this specifically also in response to what's going on around the world these days. That there's a lot of mishigas going on, a lot of craziness. And depending on who you ask, who's at fault in the craziness, this people and these people, whether it's systemic racism, some people will tie in, and other people will say that Stam is people being chayis, reis, and wild animals. But the emes is that everyone says that there are problems. The only disagreement about is who's the cause of the problems, or what's the cause of the problems, or where the problem is. But the world is in a place of, and there's strife, and we have to know that as Yidden, we can't. The easiest thing to do is to sit in Flatbush, to sit in Crown Heights or Williamsburg or Borough Park or Muncie, and to say, "Mali v'latzara azayis." Well, what does this have to do with me? Stam, it's the goyim. Who cares? So I will go to my shul, my yeshiva, if it's open, and if not, I'll sit at home. I will learn my Torah. I will do my mitzvahs and let the world destroy itself. What does it make a difference? But that's not the emes Torah approach. The emes Torah approach is knowing that taka, the atav v'chatanu mikol ha'amim, is for a purpose. The purpose is that we have to make the whole world into a place which is a dira le yisparach b'tachtayim, a place which is a holy place, a place which is hospitable for Hashem, a place of kedusha, and we are the oir la'amim. We are the light for the nations. And for thousands of years, we've taught the nations, even though they've resisted at every single turn. But at the end of the day, we've taught them civility, we've taught them a belief in the Eibishter, we've taught them monotheism, we've taught them morals, we've taught them values, we've taught them about educating, all the simple things that today people take for granted. Where does it come from? It comes from Klal Yisrael. Go back 1,000 years ago, there was no nation that educated all their children. Didn't exist. By Yidden, there was always V'shinatim Levanecha V'dibartam every single year had to teach their child. We can be a whole class on this. Just talking about how many gifts the world received from Klal Yisrael, although they don't recognize it. The world talks about the gifts of Einstein. He was a Yid, the theory of relativity. Jonas, what's his name? Salk, right? The vaccine. Yeah, those are all beautiful things, but the emes of values is the fact that people today aren't primitive animals like they once were, to the same extent they once were. But we didn't finish the job, and we have to finish the job, which means that when we bump into it, when we go out in the world, we interact with the world, we have a message of Torah, a message of mitzvahs, the Sheva mitzvahs, a message of light, and we have to realize that when things are going on in the world, that means it's a call to action for us, not only to insulate ourselves, but to elevate our level of air, our level of light, and actualizing this idea of Kichelak Hashem Amay in the purpose, which is Taka, to bring the whole world to the place where it's supposed to be.